Welcome to Overlooked Pearls, a show where I test out strange ideas nobody spends their time thinking about. Today's topic, Nautilus ADC. Or at least that's what I would normally say if this went according to plan. Despite my best efforts, Nautilus ADC unfortunately did not make the cut to become an Overlooked Pearls. Sorry guys, this one just didn't work. Let's start with the pros before we get to the cons. If there is something that Nautilus ADC does exceptionally well, it's locking someone down and beating the piss out of them. They have to decide between flashing or dying. The lockdown and damage is crazy. The AP scaling and the fact that Eclipse of all items works stupidly well on Nautilus gives so much build variety. At late game, you could become the tankiest and highest damage person in the entire game and just get away with it. In the 8 hours of experimenting with Nautilus ADC, I have tried the Waffle Rush Aftershock build with Rod of Ages, an Assassin build with Electrocute, and even an Arcane Comet Poke build. It is a ton of fun. So, what is the problem with Nautilus ADC then? The problem is that League of Legends is a game with 3 different stages: early game, mid game, and late game. The objectives and requirements of each champion is different at each stage of the game. But all champions in League share one similar gameplay principle. The better your performance in early game, the better the mid to late. This is also commonly referred to as snowballing. Nautilus has a glaring problem as an ADC in the early game. He has no reliable method of defending himself early on. His long range Q can't go past minions, his E is very slow and easily dodged by enemy ADCs, and his R is only available at level 6. Against scaling ADCs like Jinx or Xayah, this is somewhat manageable. But against ADCs like Draven or Caitlyn who are absolute lane bullies, they will make your life hell. They'll poke you, shove the wave to block your Q, pressure you under tower, and keep you behind for the rest of the game. And this is not including the enemy support, which goes to show how bad this could be. If Nautilus were to make it through early game, he'll have to either get a good poke or engage support. And even then, he has a hard time following up on them if the wave isn't managed properly, so you're still not doing yourself any favors by playing Nautilus ADC. Even if you do manage to get past the early game, it still won't work if you're not ahead. If you don't have at least 2 items in mid game, you're not going to do anything much. And if you don't recover fast enough, late game will be over for you. So until Nautilus finds a way to defend himself and CS in the early game, Nautilus ADC is not going to happen. Maybe someday we'll see it, but that day is not today, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Nautilus ADC. To sum it up, despite the exceptional performance of a full build Nautilus ADC, it suffers because it has a weak early game, prone to getting bullied by traditional ADCs. So close and yet so far indeed. Special thanks to Nat Walker for bringing this to my attention, and credit for the build goes to Waffle Rush. He's the guy who somehow made Eclipse a recommended item on Nautilus Top. If you're interested in more Nautilus Top gameplay, I highly recommend his channel. I'll leave the link in the description below. And that's all for today folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, so consider doing so if you're interested. I'll catch you guys later. Rock Tofu, signing off.